Welcome back, folks. I hope you'll follow along with me today as we head down to Frodsham Marshes, down beside the River Weaver to its end where it reaches the Manchester Ship Canal, which runs right beside the River Mersey. We'll then head back through Frodsham itself. Okay, let's get going. So there is a footpath which you can get on just outside the gates there, or there is a cut through to it by that house there. However, and it goes down the side here and down beside the river to the M6. However, it's very wet right now, so instead I'm going to head straight across and cut through the woods there to the to get to the motorway. It's actually drier. You've probably been here before, but you may not have seen it from this angle. We're underneath the M56 here, as it passes Frodsham on its way out to North Wales. Our route continues beside the river. At this point it might have been tempting to stay on the track, but we actually want to go up this banking here and we're going to turn left. There is a path right as well, something for another day. You'll probably find yourself pausing here. On the other side of the river is Runcorn, and we're looking up at Rock Savage Power Plant. It's really quite imposing. It's a kind of meeting of the ways here. We want to just keep going straight on beside the river. On the shoreline here at Weston is the old ICI chemical works, which is now split between Cora at this end, making fluorochemicals, and then further down towards Weston Point, Ineos, making salt via a vacuum salt process, and caustic soda, chlorine and chlorine derivatives via electrolysis. Sound familiar? Yes, we've seen the same sort of thing before at Widnes and Sandbach. And so we've reached this big wide sweep in the River Weaver as it ends and becomes the Manchester Ship Canal. We'll get a better view of that in a minute. Up ahead, be careful because you can very easily miss the path. It's not very clear. You could just go straight on, of course, which takes you straight back to Frodsham and back onto the road we started on actually. It's the shortest version of the route. Aha! See? There it is. A better view of Weston Point from here, and you can just about make out the locks which join the Manchester Ship Canal to the River Mersey. Of course, we've seen Weston Point from the other side, up from Runcorn Hill Park. Let's just walk up here so we can look at the view. Well, there's not much of a view for all that, but we can see out to Ellesmere Port now. The main drag. This will be cycle route 5. Actually, no. This just takes you to the landing stage on the Manchester ship. Doesn't look like it goes anywhere else, but I guess we could. Should we go and have a look at the Manchester ship? Why not? Manchester Ship Canal made Manchester the third busiest port back at the time of its construction back in 1894. It's 36 miles long, starts over at Ellesmere Port, following right alongside the River Mersey here, all the way through past Runcorn, and then heading through past Warrington and on to Manchester. It allowed large vessels to get all the way into Manchester I've been on the Manchester ship quite recently actually. I used it as a way to get back when I did a section of the Transpennine Trail out from Runcorn and over the bridge and past Fiddler's Ferry through to Sankey Valley. There's no path on from here, you have to just turn around, so we've added about 1.5 miles perhaps onto our route today, but I think it's worth it. On a clear day I guess you could see right the way across to Liverpool, but it's just interesting to see the River Mersey and how close the Manchester ship runs to it, and around the corner to Weston Point and Runcorn. I'll spare you the run all the way back down that track to where we turned off, but just note the point where we did, because coming the other way you would definitely miss it. We're going to just head back now, back towards Frodsham. There are some tracks here that look like they could be footpaths, but they're not, so just be aware of that. Ahead we're looking across the motorway again and back towards Frodsham and Frodsham Hill. It's worth looking at the marshes from the other side, from up the hill. It's a cracking view from there. I'm not quite up to it today, but I'll point out where you could turn off if you want to add it to your route.
Here's the main path, cycle route 5. So I'm 4.2 miles in now, but if you're hungry for more, head that way, out towards Ellesmere Port, and then loop back around.
And so we've reached Frodsham High Street. If you want to head up the hill, head up that lane by the white building ahead, which used to be Hussey's, long since gone. And there's a path on the right that takes you up to the top. We're just going to head up the high street now. There's a little history board which tells you a bit about the different buildings if you just want to have a leisurely stroll up the main street. And then we're going to take a left and past the Red Lion back to our starting point. Okay, all done. 5.35 miles that way, so that's 3.7 the other route, and I think the shortest variation would be about 2 miles. I'll include the maps and GPX up on the website along with more details. Hope you enjoyed that today. It's a pretty spot, well worth a visit. Okay, home for a cup of tea. See you next time, folks.